Libra, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be your general message. This is going to be for any major Libra placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind, timing and energy is fluid. This reading is timeless. It could resonate at any point in time. Whenever you're guided to watch it, there's likely a message in here for you. But I do ask that you please only take the messages that resonate. Leave behind the rest, Libra. Before jumping in with the cards, I wanted to talk about some of the energies that I was feeling for the Libra collective. I kind of feel you got some big decisions coming up here to make when it comes to restoring a sense of harmony in your life. I think get prepared to do some deep shadow work, Libra, in order to optimize your home life. I think you might be going through a big purge. I feel you're kind of being asked to find that equilibrium in your life, and I think you've been craving that balance very badly, Libra. So I think it's finally time to balance out your life once and for all, Libra. I think if you've been trying to have your cake and eat it too, I think something is going to have to get cut out of your life. But I feel there's this deep longing in my Libra collective to find purpose in your life, a mindful purpose in your life. And I feel you might be compelled to break free from some parental figures, especially if your parents have been trying to dominate your life in any form. So I feel there's this divine orchestration going to be taking place with my Libra collective in order to kind of get your life back on track. So let's jump in with some cards, Libra, and see what else needs to come through for you. Creative endeavor, loving woman. That's feeling like a little bit of like an empress energy. I think you got a lot of love to give. I think love is in focus for you, and maybe you should, allow this loving energy to fuel your passions when it comes to a creative endeavor. I kind of feel you've got this blank canvas, this blank slate, and you can create anything you want in your life, and you're being asked to create from that heart center. So love, maybe a big decision to make when it comes to love. And maybe you're working through some fear when it comes to a relationship issue. Maybe you fear that you won't be able to have love in your life. Or maybe you're working through an old mindset in order to have that loving relationship come in. So if you've been spending a lot of time up in your head, I think be mindful of how you're communicating about yourself. That self-talk, negative self-talk is never going to serve you well, because I think, maybe you got fear around deserving a commitment. You deserve a high level of commitment, and maybe there's going to be the signing of a new soul contract that will lead to a committed partnership or an engagement or marriage or union of some sort. But you first got to release any fear about deserving love in your life is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's see what else needs to come through for you, Libra. What other energies need to come through for my Libra collective? Equilibrium, balance, and you are the sign of balance. So let's see what we got here for you, Libra. Dark thoughts. There's that fear-based thinking, lack mentality, and maybe you do need to seek out some professional assistance. Maybe it's time to seek out a counselor or a spiritual life coach when it comes to some conflict that you've been facing in your life. And I think a big lesson in authenticity. Where have you not been completely authentic with yourself? I kind of feel you got some negative vices that you still need to shed, Libra, and you've really not stepped into your true authentic essence. And that's a block to calling in a deserving partner, a committed relationship, because I think maybe you're kind of breaking down some false beliefs here. Maybe you've recently gone through an ending when it comes to a status quo foundation. And maybe you have recently released a bunch of family and friends out of your life. And this has served to teach you a valuable lesson. And maybe it's time for you to step into, a spiritual teaching role of some sort. When you kind of heal this mess you're in and you know how to overcome it, then perhaps it's time to teach others how to overcome this. I do feel you're deeply connected with your angelic team, Libra, and you've got a lot of ascended masters working with you when it comes to mastering your intuition and manifesting love in your life. But there's still some layers, I feel, where maybe you feel like you can't truly be yourself around people. So a shift of intentions, and there might be an event coming up here that's going to create some chaos, that's going to create some conflict, where you might need to seek out some assistance from somebody. But I kind of feel this is where you kind of dig deep, Libra, and figure out who you truly are without your parents' expectations, without society expectations, and you kind of just put it all out there on the table. So let's see what else needs to come through for you, Libra. Awakening. Six of Cups. So maybe you've been going through an awakening of some sort, and maybe now is just a time for reflection to gain those insights when it comes to maybe some childhood patterns. You know, Six of Cups can be childhood memories, nostalgia, revisiting some old dreams, some old plans that maybe didn't get off the ground in the first place, embracing some deep inner child healing. And maybe this is speaking of the possible return of somebody from the past, a romance from the past, or maybe you have been over romanticizing how things were in the past. But I feel an awakening of some sort, a reflection to gain some insights and to see things in a whole new light is kind of what I'm feeling, Libra. And you are encouraged to take off the mask and just embrace your uniqueness. You are perfectly imperfect, just the way you are. So I think awakening maybe to some spiritual gifts, some spiritual insights. I think right now it's a time of meditation and turning inward, Libra, in order to discover your gifts, your true soul's desire, your true authentic nature. Maybe this is not a time for action. Maybe this is just a time for you developing your intuitive gifts and trusting in the messages that you've been receiving. So two energies of Pisces, Libra. You very well could be dealing with a Pisces and or an Aries, but it's time to take that leap of faith. I think you got a brand new start here. You're going to need to trust yourself, and you might need to push these dark thoughts and these fears aside, and you might need to take a leap of faith based on your intuitive hits that you've been receiving. So let's see what needs to come through for you. Quickly deciding, quickly taking decisive action, and maybe you're going to be really career driven when it comes to moving forward. But I feel facing these conflicting challenges head on, rather than playing into, you know, the emotional baggage of these challenges. I think get ready for a major review of the past in order for some changes to take place. And maybe this is going to be an unexpected change. So let's see what needs to come through for Libra. I kind of feel, yeah, you might need to seek out some help, some guidance, maybe from a reader, a healer, a coach of some sort, because I think recently some secrets have come out. But I think you're learning to get out of the headspace. So I feel this huge release of this unfounded fear when it comes to these dark thoughts. And I feel maybe something recently has completely come to a dead stop, a dead halt, in order for you to go through this renewal. So the Judgment in reversed is dead center. And then we get the Five of Cups. So maybe you've been focusing on a loss, is what I'm feeling, that's really prevented you from a new beginning. I think you've been focusing on a loss and grieving a loss of some sort, which has created, you know, this indecisive energy. You're lacking the ability to make a clear decision moving forward, Libra. Well, we get two. There's blocks when it comes to manifesting stability in your life. So, you know, we got the High Priestess in reversed. Maybe you've not been following your intuition. Maybe you've been avoiding going deep within to learn these lessons. And I feel the time is now to develop those gifts. And maybe there's going to be some secrets coming out when it comes to a sense of balance being restored. Because I think you have been all trapped up in your head. And maybe these dark thoughts are getting worse. Maybe you keep playing into all of this unfounded fear, expecting the worst. And when we expect the worst, then we create that self-fulfilling prophecy, and the worst does come true. So you really got to pay attention to your thoughts, Virgo, because I feel your thoughts are manifesting rapidly. And when you allow this worry to grow out of proportion, it just creates sleepless nights. And I think you're being asked to refocus your energies. I feel something coming to a dead stop with the Chariot reverse. So you could be dealing with a Sag, a Pisces, or a Cancer. But I feel there's been a lack of better judgment. And maybe this has created a deep sense of prolonged grieving, a loss. definitely some emotional challenges, and I think you have been focusing on the negative and what hasn't turned out. And maybe things haven't turned out the way you anticipated or the way you hoped, but God's rejection is always a form of protection. So forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, and understanding that everything happens for a reason, and we might not know why at the time, but everything always seems to make sense in hindsight. So look at the hidden blessings. Don't overanalyze. Don't overthink, because I feel this rebalancing taking place in order for you to reach a place of successful compromise. So self-control, patience, and balance is what is needed when it comes to something coming to a complete end. And maybe whatever secrets are coming out, it will lead to an emotional outburst of some sort, because I feel somebody did make a poor judgment call in the past. And it's time for this major reviewal, compassionate reviewal. Who do you need to forgive in order to head in a new direction, because it's feeling stuck? And I don't think you've got the clarity you need when it comes to your life purpose. And I feel you're feeling like nothing is working out, and you're being asked to reprioritize your life, to find the determination and willpower to make that final judgment call and to stop focusing on the negative, because whatever secrets have come out, it's been truthful, and maybe it's left you feeling out in the cold when it comes to some recent exposure of some truth. Maybe somebody recently did communicate clearly with you that maybe this isn't what they want, and it's created obstacles that are needing to be overcome. But there is this need for a realignment. Maybe you were dealing with somebody juggling two options, or maybe you've been juggling too much and it's getting really overwhelming and it's creating all kinds of blocks. But I feel decision time. Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords. So maybe in the past you were unwilling to see things at face value, and maybe in your heart of hearts you knew maybe this was needing to close out and come to a dead stop, and you didn't want to be honest with yourself. Maybe you didn't want to make that tough decision, but I feel you're being asked to heal your heart and to follow your heart. You're being asked to stop being a people pleaser and making everybody happy but yourself, Libra. And you can't keep pretending there wasn't issues below the surface in order to heal it. You kind of got to go into it and feel it with everything that you've got. So there has been this over-analyzing a situation that I feel has, been a period of prolonged grieving over a loss. And maybe you've recently closed out a long-standing cycle, and I feel you've got fear around financial security moving forward. And I think, maybe you've had to break down a family foundation of some sort, and I feel you've definitely learned a valuable lesson when it comes to an ending. Tens are endings, and I do feel once these blocks are removed, it very well could bring a new romantic offer. Or maybe you were dealing with a Knight of Cups that, had all the right things to say, was romantic, was flirtatious, and maybe you fell in love with this person and they had no intention of sticking around, is kind of what I'm feeling. And maybe they've snuck out and they've left you out in the cold, and it's created a burden. 555. Expect some powerful changes coming up here, because I feel maybe this negative thought process has now manifested into a bunch of real life challenges, Virgo. And all of these fears surrounding money and love are rearing its ugly head. And I do think, yes, you likely need to reach out for some assistance, Virgo. And maybe this was just bad timing. Maybe it was bad timing, but I feel you're dealing with somebody that's just not capable of commitment. And maybe it's created this sense of loss of self-identity, Virgo. And I feel like you don't have a lot of peace of mind. And I feel somebody else's actions have created a big loss. And I do feel some kind of embarrassing secret has recently come to light, which has created all of these challenges and conflicting energies and opposing opinions with the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. We got the Seven of Swords with this Knight of Cups. So I think somebody was deceiving you, definitely maybe snuck away. They were not being honest with you. There's definitely a lack of balance when it comes to this Knight of Cups energy. And maybe it's time to reevaluate this situation. Did they really make your heart flutter? Or maybe they were coming along your path to serve as a catalyst to awaken something in your heart in order to work through all of these dark thoughts and these fears. Or maybe it's also time to think about self-employment or a career change. But I feel, you know, you're being encouraged to walk away from a very dramatic situation that was deceptive. There was lies, there was secrets, quite possibly thieving, stealing, or cheating. And it's time for you to learn how to stand up for yourself, because there is a brand new beginning here. But you're stuck in an old mindset. And I do think maybe there was third-party interference. And I feel definitely a release of something that you thought was going to lead to a committed partnership. And wise counsel is likely needed. And maybe it is time to embrace an exciting new career opportunity. But I kind of feel you've been trapped in this focus of all of these negative circumstances, and it's created this deep sense of lacking self-confidence, lacking self-worth. I think you felt helpless to whatever somebody else did, because I think you were dealing with somebody that, you know, maybe it was a toxic trauma bond, and maybe there was third-party interference, or maybe you're dealing with somebody that's struggling with addictions or unhealthy habits of some sort, which in turn would be a third-party interference. Third party can be people, places, or things. So you could be dealing with somebody that has some addictions of some sort, and it's a block when it comes to manifesting happiness. And I think you are being asked to take action in a new direction and to take responsibility for your life if you want this new beginning. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I feel you are being encouraged to break the chains of whatever this recent exposure has come out to kind of break you free. But let's look at this High Priestess and this Chariot reversed. So yeah, maybe you've been, oh my gosh, way down there. So we got the Ten of Swords reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, transformation, and the Four of Cups. I think you've been keeping yourself stuck over maybe what you thought was a missed opportunity in the past. And Queen of Wands reversed can very well indicate a third-party person. But I feel, yeah, there's recently been an exposure of a very painful betrayal, an ending, definitely the ending of a situation that likely created a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, and I think relief is around the corner. This ending really was the doorway opportunity for you to step into some new, happier times. And maybe this weight being removed off of somebody's shoulders is ending a situation. I do feel you're likely dealing with somebody with some addictions, and maybe this truth come out very brashly, very angrily. The Queen of Wands reversed is angry, dramatic, vengeful, could be like an angry outburst of some sort. And I think maybe one or both of you have been missing the point. I don't think this was your dream come true. I think maybe it was an illusion, and I think you've spent a lot of time in a state of depression or soul suppression over what you thought was a missed opportunity, and you've been discontent and bored. And I think this was a major wake-up call when it comes to some personal, profound transformation in your life. I think you're going through a significant life change. And this experience is what was needed in order for you to embrace these changes that you need to make. An unexpected revelation recently, I think, has broken you free from maybe procrastination and releasing some old beliefs. Because, you know, what appears to be a downfall truly was a victory, a hidden victory, in order for you to maybe get spiritually promoted. So let's take a look at this Five of Cups, because I do feel it's linked to what you thought was this missed opportunity. The Moon, yeah, hidden motivations. And I think you held on to an illusion of what you thought was going to be your happily ever after, and it's really kept you stuck and stagnant. So you've been holding on to something that was an illusion, and I feel it's really time for you to start paying attention to your intuition and the signs, and to release this unfounded fear and unnecessary worry. I think this revelation is what you needed to make things crystal clear, because, you know, a solid foundation is important to you. I think give gratitude for the exposure, because I think in the past you looked at things as like right or wrong, black and white, and there was something hidden in between. Definitely an illusion that this could have been a very content relationship. I don't think it's brought you peace. I think it's brought you a lot of emotional struggles. And I think a happy family life is important to you. And I think maybe this was a bad investment, a bad judgment call, an unwise choice. And I think you are being encouraged to open up your heart to the possibility that maybe there's something else out there for you. Because I think you were dealing with somebody that was cold, that was detached, that was emotionally unavailable. And in order to gain self-respect, maybe it's time to open up the doorway to a new romantic encounter, a new experience. And maybe this was a relationship to kind of activate your psychic abilities. But I think, you know, there was a lack of truth, there was a lack of honesty, there was self-deception, and it's created all kinds of blocks. So let's take a look at these blocks. What are these blocks? What is this indecision about? A leap of faith. Maybe you're afraid of being single, but I feel once you take that leap of faith and trust that, you know, being single for a little while is what you need, that's when everything can start to move forward. I do feel the end of delays is coming. These blocks are going to be removed, and there is a new start here. Could be dealing with an Aries, but I think it's time to enjoy solitude for a while, to really get to know yourself, to go through this moment of self-actualization, to be authentic. And maybe it's time to consider self-employment of some sort, but single, grounded, stable, push those fears aside and take that leap of faith and know, you know, your self-value and your self-worth and your dignity and standing in your power is what's going to make you magnetically attractive. So enjoy the solitude, enjoy this period of self-reflection, because this is definitely going to give you that fresh new start that you need. It's going to give you this positive change in your life that you have been seeking. And it's going to bring forward an opportunity to maybe work in a new career path, to be able to do what you love. So a new creative endeavor, perhaps. And you always get paid well for your spiritual craft. So maybe it's about working within the spiritual community and standing up for what it is that you believe in, Libra, because I feel you were dealing with a Rico Suave in the past that really didn't have much to offer you but a romantic illusion. And I think you've been holding on to this for a while, and it's kind of time for that realignment and to stand up for yourself. And maybe you do need to seek some wise counsel, Taurus energy. I think it's time to find your confidence in yourself again. It's really time to compare all of these family traditions and to maybe blend a new way of being with what you've already, you know, been taught. And I kind of feel the answers are coming and wishes will come true. But this was a big lesson in closing out an old cycle. Wishes are coming true. And, you know, sometimes our wishes are granted with an ending, with something that wasn't meant for us. So I feel, have faith in the universe that everything is working out, and the ending of challenging times are here. But you need to start looking up. You need to welcome this relief, this ending, and find yourself again in this peaceful place to break free from this depression and this soul suppression. So accomplishments, spiritual enlightenment, freedom to go and do whatever it is that you want to do. But you have to be proud to be your unique self, and you have to step into authenticity. If you want somebody to commit to you, then maybe it's time to commit to yourself and to heal from this broken heart, to release this great sadness. And you know, healing takes time. Time heals all wounds. This is a huge lesson in letting go of the past and embracing personal growth through all of these challenges. So I think maybe this exposure was to heal a long-standing misunderstanding and to get you to take those next steps forward. I feel taking those steps forward, expanding beyond this stuckness. So keep putting one foot in front of the other, Libra, because you're stepping into a time of joy and success, and this was likely a spiritual test in order to get you to become aware of the people you've been connected with, the circumstances you've been connected with that were serving as a test. And you're being asked to raise your vibration and to, you know, show the world your true authentic essence and how bright you can truly shine. So perspective is everything, Libra. How do you really see yourself in this situation? self-awareness is a beautiful gift, and it will always allow you to see that higher perspective. And shifting that perspective will likely allow you to understand this situation by maybe looking through the lens of another's point of view. So I think maybe you felt like a victim of these circumstances, and you know what? You have the power to take, you have the choice to take your power back, because you're only a victim if you allow yourself to be a victim. And I think those subtle cues were warning you what someone's words were not telling you. And it's really time to acknowledge and learn from this past experience and to take back your power. Whatever you've been through, I feel the worst is over, and it was a lesson in strength and fortitude. You got to just kind of allow spirit to take the lead from here on out, Libra, because the divine is in control. And all of these external influences are really getting you to pay attention to what is really going to bring you fulfillment. Happiness never requires permission, but happiness is always an inside job first, Libra. And that's what I got for you. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, Libra, I do encourage you to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.